Hi everyone, I'm Maria, and you won't believe the nightmare my perfect romance turned into. But let's start from the beginning. 8 months ago, my life was exactly where I wanted it. At 28, I had climbed my way up to marketing executive at Thompson and Gray in Chicago. Coming from a middle-class family in Milwaukee, I'd put myself through college and built my career from scratch. Fashion was my escape, and I worked hard to afford the designer pieces I loved. One Friday evening, my best friend and coworker Sarah dragged me away from a proposal I'd been staring at for hours. "Burl, you need to stop staring at that proposal and come to happy hour," she insisted. "That new wine bar downtown is calling our names." And that's where I met James Cooper. Tall, charming, and successful as a pharmaceutical sales manager, he literally bumped into me at the bar, spilling my wine. "Let me buy you another, and maybe dinner to make up for it," he said with an easy smile. One dinner turned into 8 magical months. James was everything I'd dreamed of: attentive, romantic, and utterly captivated by me. When he proposed at the top of the Hancock building, I didn't hesitate for a second. "You're going to be a wonderful addition to our family," his mother Patricia gushed when I first met her. Patricia lived in a mansion in Lake Forest. She was clearly from old money. Her husband Michael was quieter, kind but reserved, and James's sister Victoria seemed distant. "Don't worry about the wedding planning, dear," Patricia said, patting my hand. "I know all the best vendors." And that's when things started to shift. "Mom, Maria really wants the reception at the Drake," Victoria argued during a planning session. "Nonsense. The country club is far more appropriate. Robert, don't you agree?" Patricia turned to her silver-haired friend, who was somehow always around. "The country club has much better connections," he replied, sharing a knowing look with Patricia. Soon, every decision became a battle. My chosen flowers were too modern. The band was too loud. Even my dress was too flashy. "Honey, maybe Mom has a point about the venue," James started saying one night. "She does know best about these things." "But it's our wedding," I protested. "Maria, dear," Patricia would chime in with a serene smile, "I'm only thinking of what's best for the family's image. You'll understand once you're part of our world." Even Sarah was starting to worry. "She's totally trying to control everything. Are you sure James is worth all this?" I kept brushing her off, insisting that everything would be fine, but doubt was creeping in. The night before the wedding, during the rehearsal dinner, Patricia cornered me. "Those shoes you chose for tomorrow, they're quite tall, aren't they?" "They're Louboutins," I replied, "my splurge for the big day." She pursed her lips. "We'll see about that." Looking back, I should have seen the warning signs. But there I was, the morning of my wedding, getting ready with Sarah and Victoria, convinced I was about to start my perfect life. If only I'd known what Patricia had planned for my special day. Just before the ceremony, Patricia pulled James aside, speaking loud enough for everyone to hear. "Darling, have you seen the shoes Maria is wearing? She'll tower over you in all the photos." "Mom, it's fine," James started. "It's absolutely not fine. In our family, it's tradition for the bride to appear demure. Robert, you remember how my sister-in-law caused such a scandal." "These shoes cost me a fortune," I protested, feeling my dream day slipping away. "Babe, maybe you could just, take them off for the photos," James asked, not meeting my eyes. "You can't be serious." Sarah jumped in. "This is ridiculous," but Patricia was already announcing to the gathering guests. "In our family, we have such beautiful traditions. Maria has graciously agreed to honor them." Humiliated, I stepped out of my precious Louboutins. The cold church floor sent a shiver through me as I caught Sarah overhearing Patricia whispering to her country club friends. "Did you see how quickly she took them off? That's how you put these social climbers in their place. She needed to learn early who really runs this family." 3 weeks later, the wedding photos arrived. There was Patricia, front and center, wearing 4-inch heels taller than the ones she forced me to remove. But this was only the beginning. After the honeymoon, Patricia started showing up at our condo unannounced. "Oh dear, is this what you call organized?" she'd say, running her finger along the furniture. "And that smell." Another attempt at cooking. "James likes my cooking," I defended, but she shook her head. James was raised on proper meals. Speaking of which, son, the house I mentioned near us in Lake Forest just listed. "Mom, we agreed on Lincoln Park," I protested. "Actually, babe," James interrupted, "maybe we should look at it." Being closer to family would be nice. Even our plans to start a family weren't safe from her meddling. One evening, she dropped by during dinner. Not pregnant yet. At your age? She asked, arching an eyebrow. Perhaps it's for the best. Your career keeps you so busy, but James always wanted to be a young father. That's none of your business, I snapped. Maria, James scolded, don't talk to my mother that way. She's just concerned. Later that night, he confronted me. Maybe you could cut back at work. Mom's right about starting a family. I stared at him, this man who once loved my ambition now parroting his mother's words. The barefoot bride moment had been only the beginning. Every day, I was losing more of myself, and James was letting it happen. Your career isn't everything, he continued. Your mom says, your mom says, your mom says. Do you have any thoughts of your own anymore? I asked, exhausted. That night, as we slept in separate rooms, I realized my perfect life wasn't just cracking, it was shattering. Then the truly disturbing signs began. I noticed our mail looked tampered with, and when I checked our bank statements, I found transfers I didn't recognize. Hey, did you move money from our joint account? I asked James over breakfast. Oh yeah, Mom suggested some investments. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, it's our money. Why does she even know our account details? I've always kept her on my old accounts. She's great with finances. That same day, my boss called me into his office. Maria, we received some concerning calls about you. Someone suggested you're planning to leave for a competitor. My blood ran cold. Who? Who said that? They wouldn't identify themselves, but they seemed to know a lot about you. At lunch, Sarah dropped another bombshell. Girl, you need to know, Patricia's been telling everyone at the country club that you're unstable and struggling with the demands of being a Cooper. I was shaking with rage when Victoria unexpectedly showed up at my office. I can't watch this happen again, she said, looking nervous. You're not the first, you know. James was engaged before, to a girl named Rachel. What? He never mentioned her. Mom made sure he'd forget. Rachel was too independent, too career-focused. Sound familiar? Mom started with small things, criticizing her choices, monitoring her movements. By the end, Rachel was a mess. She left James a week before the wedding. That night, James and I had our biggest fight yet. Your mother is destroying our lives, I shouted. You're being paranoid. Mom would never. She's reading our mail, spreading rumors, calling my work. See, this is exactly what I mean. You're imagining things. Maybe you should talk to someone. Then came the final straw. Patricia and Robert showed up for dinner uninvited, as usual. I've been telling James about this amazing investment opportunity. Rob smiled. Guaranteed 40% returns. We're putting in most of our savings, James announced proudly. Mom's friend Robert knows his stuff. Late that night, I called Sarah. I need help investigating Robert. Something feels off. 2 days of digging, and Sarah called me back. Maria, this guy had 3 companies shut down for suspicious activity. There are forum posts warning about his investment schemes. I need to get out before it all explodes. Help me plan. Already on it. I've documented everything, the mail tampering, the unauthorized account access, the workplace harassment. My cousin's a lawyer, and my spare room is yours whenever you need it. Looking at my perfect husband, sleeping peacefully beside me, I realized he was just another puppet in Patricia's show, and I refused to be part of the performance any longer. While secretly packing my life into storage, the news broke like a tsunami. Robert was arrested, his investment firm exposed as a massive Ponzi scheme. Our savings, along with millions from other investors, had vanished. Mom, how could you let this happen? James screamed into the phone. That was all our money. How was I supposed to know? Patricia wailed. I lost everything too. But the money was just the beginning. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered Robert's connection to numerous fraudulent schemes, and Patricia's name kept popping up in the documents. Did you know she was getting kickbacks for bringing in new investors? Victoria revealed. She's been doing this for years at the country club. The social fallout was spectacular. The same people Patricia had been spreading rumors about me to were now sharing stories of her manipulative behavior. Years of controlling schemes, destroyed relationships, and financial misconduct came to light. Your mother didn't just destroy our marriage, I told James, packing the last of my things. She destroyed your whole life, and you let her. Maria, please, I see it now. We can fix this. Like you fixed things when she made me walk barefoot at our wedding. When she stalked our lives. When she tried to ruin my career. No, James, I'm done. I'd already accepted the New York position. Sarah, who'd been my rock through all of this, was coming too. Her talent had caught my new boss's eye. Ready to start our new chapter, we boarded the plane together. A year later, I stood in my Louboutins, the same ones I wasn't allowed to wear at my wedding, preparing to give the keynote speech at the National Marketing Summit. My team's innovative campaign had just won its third major award. Victoria sat in the front row. She'd finally broken free from Patricia's control and moved to Boston, starting her own business. We'd grown closer than ever. Through the industry grapevine, I'd heard that James and Patricia were facing bankruptcy proceedings. Their reputation in Chicago was ruined. The mighty Coopers had fallen, destroyed by their own toxic behavior. Looking out at the audience in my designer heels, I realized that walking barefoot at my wedding wasn't just a humiliation. It was the universe showing me who these people really were. Every step I'd taken since then, every decision to stand up for myself, had led me here. Success isn't just about climbing the corporate ladder. I began my speech. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to let anyone make you feel small. My phone buzzed, another text from James, begging for reconciliation. I deleted it without reading it. Some people don't deserve a second chance to walk all over you. What would you have done when Patricia demanded you remove your shoes at your own wedding? Would you have stood your ground and risked ruining the ceremony, or complied to keep the peace like I did? Sometimes that first moment of giving in opens the door to years of manipulation. Drop your thoughts in the comments below if you've dealt with toxic in-laws. I'd love to hear your story. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life stories about overcoming toxic relationships and standing up for yourself. Trust me, there's plenty more where this came from.